Before the bass line even hits, you hear a rhythmic thumping. Most artists would use a drum machine, but Michael Jackson wanted absolute authenticity. He brought in his own physician, Dr. Eric Chevlin, to the studio with specialized medical equipment. They recorded Michael's actual heartbeat while he was in a state of high physical exertion. But here is the intelligence layer that the average listener missed. The heartbeat was digitally processed through a synclavier at a specific 10 Hz frequency. This wasn't just for style, it was designed to trigger a subconscious stress response in the listener, syncing your pulse to his before the song even starts. But then, the Susie story turns into a medical intervention. The iconic refrain, "Annie, are you okay?" isn't a random question for a victim. It is a direct quote from the first aid handbook. During the bad sessions, Michael took a CPR certification class. In every CPR training session worldwide, the practice mannequin is named Resusci Ann. The very first step of the suspicidal protocol is to shake the victim and ask, "Annie, are you okay?" to check for responsiveness. Michael took a life-saving drill and turned it into the most famous hook in pop history. But here is the historical truth that makes it darker. The face of Annie, the CPR doll, was actually modeled after the death mask of an unidentified young girl who drowned in the Seine River in the 1880s. So when Michael is singing to Annie, he's literally singing to a universal symbol of resuscitation. He didn't just write a crime story, he wrote a manual for survival. And the audio logic? The song was originally titled Al Capone, but Michael scrapped it because it was too literal. He wanted a track that felt sleek and anonymous, like the criminal himself. He didn't just make a hit, he put his own heart into the machine so it would never stop beating. Now be honest, did you know you were listening to a CPR lesson, or were you too busy doing the lean? The throne is secured at MJ Legacy UK.
If you weren't there, you think the screaming was just fan hype. You're wrong. It was a neurological overload. In 1992, during the Dangerous tour in Bucharest, the air temperature was normal, but the atmosphere inside the crowd was intense. The body heat from 70,000 people packed together created visible heat waves above the stadium. But here is the data strike that proves the scale of his aura. In a single night in Vienna, reports suggest that dozens of fans collapsed before Michael even sang a single note. He would stand frozen in his statue pose for over 2 minutes, and that silence alone was enough to overwhelm thousands of people. At every show, there were medical tents stationed like a battlefield hospital. In Bucharest, the number of fainting fans was so high that security had to quickly move people out of the crowd to prevent injuries. But here is the industrial engineering that made it possible. Michael's stage gear was designed with advanced lighting and effects that were ahead of its time. He traveled with 65 lorries of equipment, miles of electrical cable, and massive stage setups that transformed each venue. This wasn't a concert, it was a state intervention. He performed for 4.5 million people during the HI Story Tour alone, averaging nearly 55,000 people per night. No modern artist has this gravitational pull. The world didn't just go to watch him. The world went to lose its mind. Now, be honest, do you think any modern artist could stand still for 2 minutes and keep 70,000 people from moving, or is that level of aura dead? The throne is secured at MJ Legacy UK. This wasn't just a song. In 1987, Michael was looking for one final soul-stirring track for the Bad album. Quincy Jones held a meeting for songwriters, and Sierra Garrett arrived an hour late with a demo that would change history. Michael heard the song once and made a tactical decision to record it immediately. It was the first time in 2 years he had accepted an outside song because the message was a direct reflection of his own philosophy. But here is the vocal declassification that defines MJ's recording discipline. Michael didn't just sing the track, he brought in the Andrea Crouch Choir to give it a gospel foundation. If you listen closely to the bridge, you can hear Michael's vocals pushing into an A3 to C6 range, a physical feat that most pop stars avoid. During the sessions, he was so moved by the lyrics that he focused deeply on delivering the message without distraction. But the visual strategy was a complete system pivot. Michael made the aggressive choice not to appear in the music video at all.
Instead, he used a montage of historical truth bombs, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Mahatma Gandhi to the famine in Ethiopia. He wanted the world to focus on the human condition, not his celebrity. And the industry stats prove the impact was absolute. The song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and stayed there for 2 weeks, becoming his 10th #1 single. But the real aura moment was the 1988 Grammy Awards. Michael performed an extended 7-minute version of the song that started as a whisper and ended as a spiritual explosion. He didn't just perform, he collapsed on stage in a moment of raw emotional intensity. Many fans consider it one of the greatest live performances in Grammy history. He didn't just write a hit, he gave the world a template for change. Now be honest, is Man in the Mirror the most important song Michael ever released, or is Earth Song more powerful? The throne is secure at MJ Legacy UK.